G'day. So I just wanted to show you one of the ships I have, and again, I have a whole fleet of these that traverse the oceans in my Minecraft world, bringing goods and products from one location to another. And again, they carry a lot of goods. They carry your standard coal or other products. They carry fridge goods, freezer goods, and stone materials. And again, they're pretty big. They go across the oceans, and I have a whole fleet of them. This is the 10th of Untold Fleet. And so, looking at a map, let's say we started in Kasta. In case you don't remember what Kasta looks like or you've never seen it before, this is my village of Kasta, or city of Kasta, I should say. That was one of the warships off to the right side, fleet number 002. And then we've just passed the military docks, which are off to the right side. In front of us are the docks for trading goods, as well as we have the shipyard, the Kasta shipyard, coming up. And again, Kasta is 3,000 blocks to the west of Towerland. You can get across certain oceans, but there's some oceans that just don't connect to others, and so you have different canals. So this is the Jala Canal, which we were looking at the map, and so it connects the Western Ocean with the Central Ocean over here. You have to build a canal across there, and then you can go and you can build other canals like this canal. This is the Cross Canal, which links the Central Ocean with another smaller lake. I haven't quite named this lake yet, but anyhow, this gives you an idea. And again, that's the first ship I was looking at. This is the jurisdiction of Cross. So from this lake, got another canal into Haas Lake, and then I'll need to build another canal to the Eastern Ocean. I'm going to show you how to make a canal looking at the canal I made between Haas Lake and the unnamed lake. Let's go. So this shows you prior to my construction of the actual canal, the area between Haas Lake, which is in the top right hand side, and the unnamed lake, which is in the bottom left hand side. And I've already cleared this area. Clearing it is just like you normally would any area. I usually take the entire area that I'm clearing, and I take the same area about 100 blocks up, and I copy that area to the bottom area, and then I'll clean it up at the sides, and I'm good to go. So looking at a command block on how I was able to clear the land, first three numbers are the northwest point of my 3D object that I plan on copying, even if it's a bunch of blocks of air. The three numbers in yellow are my southeast location of those blocks, and then the green three numbers are my northwest location of where the blocks are going to be copied to. So as you can see, 4988 is the western block where I start copying. 160 is the height, and again, we're looking at the blue numbers. 1002 is the distance north to south. And so that's where I'm starting, and I copy until 5054, 161, so I'm only going up by 1 in height, and 1051, and then I'm pasting that to 4988, 60, and 1002. And so what this does is it allows me to copy air to the blocks below, and as a result, I'm able to clear out the blocks I'm doing. And so again, this is how you clear blocks that are both above the highest level of water and below the highest level of water. However, when you're clearing out blocks at the level of water, which usually for oceans in Minecraft is level 62, you have to do something different. Let me show that to you now. So I know it doesn't look that different, but what I'm doing here is I'm actually taking one layer of sky, okay, and so a one height block, and I'm copying it to the water line level, so the highest level that the water goes in your ocean. You need to specifically do this differently from any blocks underneath the highest level of water, and obviously any blocks that you're copying and pasting in land. You can copy many blocks. I copied 2 layers in my previous example. I could have copied 100 if need be, top to bottom. So, but you need to do this, and let me show you with examples why. Okay, so I'm going to close this up. I'm going to flip my blocks, and as you can see, it copied that one level, and the water is doing the work for me. As long as I have water at one of the west-east sides and one of the north-south sides, I don't have to do anything, okay? As you can see, there's no water flowing or anything like that. I'm going to pause it here. This is what it looks like if you decide to copy and paste multiple levels, vertical levels of blocks, including the top layer. You're going to run into that problem, and that's a huge problem. Good luck fixing that. It actually is easy to fix. I'm going to make another video on that sooner or later. But let's get back to how to build a canal. So as you can see, I'm changing my blocks every 50 blocks. So I'm going to take out from 1052, I'm going to change it to 1102, and as you can see, it's filling it in. Don't mind me, I'm just changing when the time is, just in case I have villagers in the area. Don't feel like them being taken over as zombie villagers. And as you can see, it's doing its thing. However, I've run into a little bit of a problem here. There's no water blocks on the west, so I'm going to have to put that in, and then it'll automatically go across, and I'm kind of good. But you'll notice it's not going all the way. Why is that? Oh, I have some holes in the bottom of my next layer. And again, I can put as much water here as I want. I can put it all the way along. But I'm still going to have some issues once I put this all in. And again, that sheep's in the way, whatever. Okay, I can put in all this water. I'm still going to have problems. I can put my water up here on the north side to fill it in, but I'm still going to have problems over top of those holes. I need to fill in those holes, and usually it's best to do it beforehand, but sometimes, now I knew about one of the holes here, but I didn't know about all of them, and so what you basically need to do is take the blocks, fill them in, and as you can see, the water, once you've done that, it fills it in for you, and you might say, well, I need a deeper water source. That big ship's not going to fit in here. Again, you fill it in, the water will fill in. The water is now at the top layer, so at that level 62 layer. And so once it automatically does that, where you don't see that flowing water anymore, you know that when you start taking those blocks out, you'll be fine. So let's head back. What we're going to do is we're going to fill in a couple more layers so you can see how it works, and then we are going to get rid of the layer 61, 60, all the way down to 55-ish. Okay, and so we flip there, and as you can see, again, we have that issue because while there's water at the south side, or sorry, I should say the north side, and again, I'm going to fill in these blocks here so we don't have any issues. While there's water at the north side, there's no water coming from the west or east, so we'll have to fill that in here. And once we fill that in all the way down, the water will go across, and it'll be recognized at all sides, northwest, south, and east of this area, level 62. And again, I'll worry about using a lead to pick up my horses and cows and placing them along the grass later on. Okay. So, yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of that. Let's look at lowering now the level so that instead of it, because I can continue doing that, but you should be able to get an idea. And so instead of doing this now, what we're going to do is we're going to do level we're going to get rid of level 60, and so we're going to flip that, and you'll see it's gone down there, or maybe you won't, and we're going to keep doing this. Again, we're doing it every 50 blocks north to south, so I'm going to clear that. I'm going to put it to 1052, and you should definitely see the difference in the block layers. I could do it by more. But again, I'll show you why I like to do it every 2 or 3 blocks. So again, I'm going to flip that lower. And as you can see, it'll uncover certain caverns or whatever, but that's still fine. As long as my top level is water, my level 62 is water, everything below it will be filled with water. Okay, and I'm going to do one more. I'm going to flip that, and again, my water underneath there is filled up, and I'm starting to form my canal. Now again, it's still not deep enough. You could be sitting there and going, wow, that's a waste of time. You could have gone all the way down to level 55, but one of the things I like to do is I like to make the canals look somewhat realistic, more realistic. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this, and then again, I'm just checking on the numbers here. Okay, and so I'm going to put this back to 1102. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this so that further down it's not as wide by one number on both the west and east side. So my west and my east are a little bit less by one, and where it starts again is a little bit off by one. I'm going to put it down 2 more blocks. And so the 58th layer, as you're going to see, oops, let me fix that. It should be 1002. Is going to be one less on the western side, one less on the eastern side. And so it should make the land a little bit more realistic. And again, I do that. You're not really going to see it there, but you'll see it for about the 50 level. And as you can see, I have a line underneath where the blocks sort of gradually go down. So as opposed to this huge cut that goes down 10 lines, and where realistically, if it was real, you would get some sort of like cave-in or something like that, because again, usually gravity takes over, and the dirt or whatever would fall down. In this case, it goes down by gradual amounts. And again, I keep doing that, so I'll do this again. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up, and in this case, I'm going to do it to the 55 level. Again, realistically, I would do it every 2, but just for this video, I'm going to do it. I'm going to add one more vertical level, and again, it's 89. I'm going to make it 90 at the west. I'm going to make it 52 on the east, and I'm going to make it 90 where I'm copying it, and I'm going to flip it, and as you can see, now this time I've done it 1152, so you might not be able to see it there, but eventually as I go up by 50 in this case, and I flip it, you'll start seeing it's getting deeper, and again, it doesn't, at the western and eastern sides, it doesn't go straight down, it's going down little by little, and the canal is getting narrower and narrower, but still wide enough for my ships to get through. And again, you can kind of see it there. So that gives you an idea of what I'm doing and the reasons I'm doing it. Okay, and I'm just going to do this last section, and then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a fly through of what my canal looks like. And again, as you can see, it would be very simple for 2 of those ships once the entire thing is done to fit the entire way through. And obviously, I need to clean up those horses. This section here, because obviously it has to turn, I chose the lowest land area. And so I just, obviously I can't do command blocks for that. I'm going to have to manually do that little corner there. So yeah, that's my canal. So this is what my canal looks like at the end. And again, as you can see, I've cleaned up some of the stuff on the right-hand side, moved the animals. The little corner here I've tweaked a little bit, and I'll probably tweak it more, but just to give you an idea of the finished product. And if you have any questions, ask away. Thanks for watching my video, and I will see you next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.